Welcome to my live stream, live from Bangkok, Thailand, on what I think is probably one of the worst days for free speech, American democracy, and what I think is even more important, which I'll talk to you guys about in just a second. And by the way, just to get it out of the way, I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I did not vote for Trump. I did not agree with everything Charlie had to say. Um, but obviously, this is the end of something that's very important that he was doing that everybody should have celebrated regardless of whether or not you agreed with him. So today is a horrible day for not only the fact that Charlie Kirk's life ended and he was a father, I believe, and a husband and someone's son. It's not only the end um, of his voice, who helped many people, obviously, who agreed with him, but it's the end of the only thing that I thought could save American society, which is the willingness to go to the other side and say, I disagree with you strongly, but I don't hate you. And I'm willing to sit here and talk to you openly about this. Right. And that's what Charlie Kirk was doing, if anything. Right. He was going to the other side and saying, talk to me. I don't hate you. Let's talk. He was the first guest on Gavin Newsom's show, right? The first conservative. Um, if you can't do that anymore in America, and the price that you pay for that is your life, there's no hope for America and Western societies anymore if you can't do that. And I think that is what is a true loss is for everybody. I left America for many reasons, but the fact that people could no longer be civil to each other and agree to disagree, and really essentially looked at violence and the cancel culture as the only answer. Um, and well, for over 2 years that I've been living here in Thailand, every day as I watch American news, I go like, yeah, I can't live there. The co-assassin in Charlie Kirk's assassination today is the social media, specifically TikTok, and in some ways almost all other platforms, because the censorship of people who speak out for men's rights, who speak against woke cancel culture, are extremely heavily censored on TikTok and other platforms, but specifically on TikTok. And the hate towards men and the hate towards people like Charlie Kirk is borderline encouraged. So I would absolutely have TikTok as co-defendant in Charlie Kirk's assassination. I mean, if anything positive that could come out of this, could it be that people on the left and the right, who are the thought leaders, the influencers, the politicians, would actually unite over this from both sides, like essentially what Charlie preached, right? Let's have the olive branch, let's have a conversation with the other side, let's not hate, and definitely let's not be violent. um, could this be, if anything positive that comes out of it is that both sides saying, I think we had enough, I think we can no longer go in these opposite directions and hate each other this much. I really hope that if anything comes out of today is that. But my fear, it's going to be the opposite. Today is either a beginning of a horrible, violent future and many more events like this to come, and a possibility of even a civil war, or the beginning of healing and both sides coming together, which I think is exactly what Charlie Kirk was advocating. Again, I know a lot of people disagreed with him. I disagreed with him on many issues as well. But one thing I always admired him for, and I thought that this was absolutely the most important work anybody can do in politics in America, which is preaching, bridging the gap with the other side, not hating the other side, having an open conversation um, with the other side, uh, agreeing to disagree, and the fact that that's the person who today we lost. um, it's numbing. It is also an opportunity for Donald Trump to do something that he hasn't done before, and if he wants to leave any type of positive, legacy, it would be if he could bring people together, not blame the other side, right? Not inject more hate into this, but take an opportunity to bring the other side together and have some sort of conversation. And the beginning of the conversation, Donald Trump is not afraid to go into the other side, right? And facing the other side, but he's just not that good at making peace, which is his opportunity now. Today's day is brought to you by TikTok. It absolutely is a co-assassin in today's horrible event, because nobody grooms the hate of the advocates for men and men's rights than TikTok and other social media platforms, by promoting the hate towards men and by censoring and removing accounts that are advocating for men. I already have 2 strikes on TikTok. I'm not allowed to stream this on TikTok live. And many other influencers who I know have exactly the same thing to say about TikTok. They have absolutely paved the way to the events today. So re-examining and holding TikTok and other social media platforms accountable for events like today is one of the few things that we absolutely need to do if America can pull itself out of a horrible day like today.
If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.